Hi students, I'm going to show you how to do the cross stitching on these boards so way that you can practice that the next few days. First thing you're going to need is your board, a piece of embroidery floss, a embroidery or cross stitching needle, which you can tell because it has a larger eye or hole, and then a needle threader that looks like a little, it kind of like looks like an umbrella is what my students like to call it. So what you're going to do to get started is you're going to get the needle threader and you're going to take this bigger end. These are both needle threaders, but this is the bigger end. And you're going to go in through the eye. So it's like this. And then you hook the string on like this, like that. And then I have to hold the needle. So I don't want to hold this, okay? I want to hold the needle now. And I'm going to pull this through. And you'll see how this gets the thread through, right? Once it's gotten through, then we just want to make this tail about 5 inches long. So that's about like from your fingertip to, so like from your finger to your thumb, if you make like an L. So I think mine's a little short, so I'm going to try it here. That's about right. Okay, so see, there's where my tail is. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we are actually not gonna start with a knot. We're gonna start stitching, and that's gonna create a knot for us. So we have our board. I'm gonna start on the bottom of my board because I got a little error in it, but that's okay because this is just a practice one. I wanted to give you guys the good ones. You wanna start on the very bottom, okay, the very bottom hole, and you're gonna pull this till where you just have a short tail that's maybe like 2 inches long. So like, see the back here? So that's maybe like 2-3 inches, okay? So you wanna hold on to it. So I'm gonna hold that in place. And then what you're gonna do, I'm gonna zoom in here a little bit, is you're gonna go up one and over one. And you're gonna pull that through. And when you pull, you always wanna hold it here, because if I don't hold it here and I pull, what will happen is if I keep pulling, look, see how it's going to come off the thread? So I don't want to do that. So make sure that you're always pinching it here when you pull. Okay? All right, so I went ahead and I pulled it through. Now what I'm going to do is I've got to come up through the next spot. So I'm going to go underneath into this spot. If you go in the wrong hole at first, that's okay. Just move it over. And we're going up one and crossing over. So it's gonna look like an X. See that? And now I can let go of the back because check it out. See how it's gonna hold in there? So now I don't have to hold that anymore. Okay, so now I can just focus on making these. So I always wanna connect to the last one. So I'm gonna come up right here into the last one. Okay, you always wanna pull your string until it stops. Again, we're holding it though by the needle right here where the hole is. So up one, over one, pull it through. Again, make sure you're holding this. And then see how I'm not holding the tail anymore because I don't need to. And then we're going underneath and then we're crossing over. Okay, so I got 2 now. Again, I'm always coming back up into the last one on the bottom here, and then you go up one and over one. So you don't want to go directly above it, okay? Then now this one we go underneath and we're crisscrossing. So it's going to look like a bunch of X's. And you can switch colors as you do this, like you can sew with this color for a little while, and then when you run out, if you want to continue red, great, you can continue red. If you want to switch over to maybe like pink and start doing like a ombre type situation, you could definitely do that as well. So you don't have to stick with the same color. You can do different colors. You can even create like a scene per se with it. All right, so you're gonna keep doing this, go along. Now, eventually you're gonna start running short of thread. And so I need to show you like, how do you end it when you start running short of thread? I got a little caught on the corner, no big deal. We'll just unhook that. So we're gonna pretend that we're running short of thread. So how do I know that I'm running short of thread? Well, I know that I'm running short of thread if it is getting close to my tail. So here's my tail. Let me zoom out. So see, my tail's right here. So I don't want to let it get shorter than that. So as I start to approach my tail, I want to end or say, hey, I need to stop. Okay, because I never want to sew it up here. If I sew up here, see, this is only like 6 threads thickness. This would be 12. So if I keep doing this and I get to this part right here, then this is going to be double the thickness. Okay, and it will stand out and it will look different. So we don't want that. So that lets us know that we need to end it anyway. So we just make sure we don't get it too short. So I'm going to pretend that I'm getting my thread a little short, or maybe I just want to change colors. I'm getting tired of red and I want to switch out the red color because I don't want to do that one anymore. So let's talk about how to end it. So pretending that we're going to end it. So whenever you're ready to end, just flip it to the back side like this. And then all you have to do is take your needle and go under the last couple of threads. They call this casting it off. And you just go underneath the threads like this and you pull. And then you could cut it, but if you're really nervous about it falling out, you could do this a second time. You could cast under a second time. And it doesn't have to go in exactly the same spots, so don't worry about if it doesn't go exactly the same spots. And then you could cut this. So I can cut this and I can cut this other one, although I'm gonna leave a little bit of a tail up here. So it's gonna look like this, okay? And then I would unthread my needle and I would just switch to my next color. I'd get rid of that. And so again, it doesn't have to stay the same color. You can change it, but you're gonna be filling up all of these spots. You're going all the way up to the top with your stitching. And so you might be like, what do you do when you get done with this row? How do you go up to the next row, okay? So I thought I'd show you that real quick. So again, I'm gonna thread my needle. This time I'm gonna try a different color. I've got blue here. So I'm gonna switch out to a different color. I'm gonna need my needle threader to get that on. And so again, I take my needle and I go through it like this. And I'm gonna hook this on like that. And then I hold this and I pull it off so it goes through there like that. And then I wanna make sure that this is about 5 inches long, which is about like if you make an L with your finger. So it's a little bit longer than that, so I'm gonna shorten it up just a tad. Okay, so again, I'm gonna pick up where I last left off. So I last left off here, okay? So I'm gonna pull through until I have just like an inch or two, and then I'm gonna hold on to it with my finger here in the back, okay? And then I go up one, over one. I go down here at the bottom right underneath, and then I cross over. And then don't forget, this is where I can then let go of the back because now it's secure, okay? And then I would continue with my remaining stitches on this row. It looks like there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe left to do on this row. And then you would continue to the next row. And so I want to show you how to be able to do that. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here because I want to show you how do you switch from this row right here to the next row, okay? So we're going to pretend like we went all the way down here to the end, okay? So I'm going to scooch down here and do this last one. I'm going to skip a little bit. I don't want you to skip, but I'm skipping just for time. I'm doing the last one on this row. Now, once I've got it like this, I need to be able to come up here. So I got to go underneath, okay, like this. And then I continue on. So up one, over one. So see how that continues the row, and then again underneath. And you'll see how this then just creates a second row. See that? And you would just keep going. And again, watching for obviously like either when you want to change colors or watching for that string, because remember, you don't want to let it get any shorter than about 5 inches. You never want it to have that tail, okay? You never want to go beyond the tail. So like as you start seeing this approach, okay, then you want to stop so you don't run out, right? So you have enough string to end it, because otherwise you may not be able to get cast it off and get underneath those stitches, okay? All right, well, I hope this goes well for you. Just feel free to switch colors as much as you want. It's up to you what colors you do. I want you to fill this thing in completely if you can. You've got a few days to do this. If you need more thread, come up front. There should be some on the big table or on my desk as well for you to keep practicing with. Oops, don't let that get caught up. Okay? And so you would just keep going, just like this. Okay? All right, well, hope this goes well for you. If you have questions, ask me, and hopefully I can help you, or you can watch the video again even slower.